What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. I did one negative thing about every MLB team. I think today we're going to do one positive thing or one good thing about every MLB team. We're going to start with the National League. We're going to get right into it. Like, subscribe, comment. Starting with the National League West. We have the reigning World Series champion, LA Dodgers. They literally just won a World Series, and no major pieces are leaving. Right now, Justin Turner is a free agent. He seems like he's going to be a Dodger guy, so I have a feeling he probably resigns. They might even make a couple trades, like they're in talks with some guys for them to get even better. Maybe the rich get richer. Even if they stay as they are, they're probably the contenders, the top dogs to beat. D-backs, we're kind of going from top to bottom here. The D-backs, Zach Gallen quietly had an amazing season for them. This was technically his rookie season. He pitched last year. He was really good. He had a 2.75 ERA this year, which is amazing. He had 82 strikeouts in 72 innings. So really good. Not much is positive about the Diamondbacks right now, but Zach Gallen looks like a really good player. They got him from the Marlins for Jazz Chisholm, Jazz Chisholm looks really good, but I think Gallen's going to be the better player. Rockies, also, once again, not much is going great in Rocky land right now. But Trevor Story's value is at an all-time high. He's one of the top 3 shortstops in the league. You can mix that order in the top 3, mix that order around, but he's definitely a top 3 shortstop. And if the team is really selling off Arenado, Blackmon, Story, his value is an all-time high. Get some good pieces back, retool, and we'll see from there. Giants. The Giants are kind of doing stuff like the Royals, where they're going through a rebuild, but they have enough good pieces where it's interesting to at least go see a game. Or, there's a chance they're a sneaky contender for wild card. You can build around guys like Donovan Solano, who had he definitely batted over 300 this year. I'm not sure the exact average. Mike Yastrzemski, they signed Kevin Gausman this year. They turned Kevin Gausman into a really good pitcher, so that could be one of their positives. Last one in this division is the Padres, now probably the second best team in the NL West. Everything's looking up, and you guys are contenders. Probably not for the division. I think it's the Dodgers. But you guys are contenders in the playoffs. The jerseys are amazing. When they went to the full time, they went to the brown and gold. It looked amazing. The city is really behind you when they won that. It came back from down 1-0 and they won the 2 wildcard games. You saw San Diego going crazy, which wasn't great for the pandemic. But it's cool that the city is finally behind the Padres. And you guys have the best left side infield in baseball with Tatis and Machado, maybe even the best left side in baseball, because you also got Tommy Pham in left field. Now we're going to the NL Central, which last year had 4 teams that we thought were amazing, and none of those teams were really very good. It's kind of the same thing. This division is a complete toss-up between the Reds, Cardinals, Cubs, and Brewers. I have no idea who's going to win this division. The only team kind of out of it is the Pirates. Cubs. One positive thing is Yu Darvish. He fully reinvented himself. He had a 4 ERA and a 5 ERA the past 2 years, and he dropped it down to 2 this year and finished second in Cy Young voting. If you're selling off pieces, which I heard the Cubs are, his value has gone up a ton. I was talking about like Trevor Story. Darvish went from a player that was like a 3 or a 4 starter on most teams to second in Cy Young voting this year. That's what a 60-game season can do if you perform really well like he did. Cardinals, once again, this toss-up division, they have a chance, especially if Jack Flaherty returns to that ace he was in 2019. Did not have a great 2020, but the Cardinals had that whole thing where they were for 2 weeks they were stuck in a hotel room, and there was videos of Flaherty throwing bullpens in his hotel room. So we'll give him a pass. Brewers, once again, toss up in this division. They could surprise everyone. Not even surprise everyone, but just surprise a whole bunch of people and take the division. Their positive thing is the emergence of Devon Williams and Corbin Burnes. No one knew these guys existed before. Well, I mean Brewers fans, but no one knew these guys really existed before 2020. Burnes went 4-1 with a 2.11 ERA, and he might not even be the best starting pitcher on the Brewers. That might be Brandon Woodruff. Well, Devon Williams, who was a reliever, also went 4-1. I don't think he had any saves this year. He still won Rookie of the Year. He had a 0.33 ERA, which is insane. 53 Ks in 27 innings. He allowed 1 run in the entire season, which was 27 innings. The rotation of Burnes and Woodruff and Adrian Hauser, I think, and then their bullpen That was their rotation. Their bullpen of Williams and Hader and some other guys, and Yelich is still on that team, could carry them to division title. So that's positive for the Brewers. Reds, once again, contenders in this division, despite in the negative video, they had one of the worst negatives, which they lost Bauer. They went for it all for 1 year, and they didn't do great. They're still contenders if somehow everything works out next year. There is a good mix of some young guys that are here at the show, such as Aquino, Nick Senzel, and Tyler Stevenson, who looks really good this year. With the vets of the team, the Castellanos, the Vottos. So those guys, that's the Reds. Pirates, not much positive this year, but except for Brian Hayes, who had an amazing year and was one of the most underrated players. He only played 24 games, but in those 24 games, he batted .376, had an OPS over 1, which is really good, and he's an insane defender. So, all-around player at third base. We only saw a really small sample size of 24 games, but if he continues through that, he could be the next player to kind of build around in this Pirates rebuild. National League East is next up, and all 5 teams are competitive, which should make it really interesting. Now, I have one team that's better than that. We'll get to it. Starting with the Mets, who I don't think are the best team in this division, unless they get like DJ, Springer, and all those guys that apparently they're linked to. And as of right now, they are linked to them, so that's a positive thing. They signed McCann, which is really good. This Mets team hit last year. Just the pitching wasn't there besides DeGrom. Now you get Trevor May. They signed him. So far they've had the best offseason, as in they've got Trevor May and James McCann, and they're linked to the big guys. Apparently, the Blue Jays and Mets are the finalists for Springer. That's what I want to say. They added Trevor May. They're gonna get Marcus Stroman back, and they're gonna get Noah Syndergaard back about like maybe halfway through the year. So that's amazing. That also added to Jacob DeGrom, and the rest of that rotation bullpen's all right. So watch out for the Mets. Now we're going to get to the Braves, who I think are the true number 1 team in the National League East. I think they've won it the past 3 years now, or has it only been 2? I think it's been 3. Charlie Morton was a signing. The Braves like to go out at the start of free agency and get the guy that they want, and then they're good. So they got Charlie Morton, 1 year, $15 million deal. Gives them one of the more solid and better rotations in baseball when you put Charlie Morton, Max Fried, Mike Soroka, Ian Anderson together. Looks really good. It does have the chance to fail, as this was like Max Fried's first real year. Soroka had a season-ending injury. Ian Anderson's still a rookie, and Charlie Morton is old. So there's a chance it doesn't work out, but there's also a chance it really does. I mean, all these guys have proved it so far. And that great rotation is going to pair with one of the best lineups in baseball. A lineup that had Acuna, Freeman, Ozzie, and Ozuna. We're not sure if the Braves are going to get back Ozuna because of the no universal DH. We'll see. I still have the Braves as the top guys in the NL East, and that's positive for them. Phillies. This was kind of tough because not anything is really looking good for them. But they brought in Sam Fuld as their general manager, and they brought in Dave Dombrowski as their president of baseball operations. Dombrowski's, I think, has won 3 World Series, and he's the only 3 World Series with 3 different teams. He just kind of comes in, goes right for it, and then leaves the team in shambles. So they're competitive hires. Now, if they pick up some bullpen guys, maybe they could sneak in the wild card. But I feel like if you're just going to lose Real Muto, I don't see it. But the positive thing is good hires and a chance to contend. But really, I think it's going to be more of a year for guys like Alec Boehm, Spencer Howard, Mickey Moniak. So, you still get to maybe contend, and you still get to look at some of your young guys this year. Maybe bring in some bullpen pitching, and there's a chance they have a wild card. Marlins. Now, Marlins are building a great culture over there. The Kim Ng hire is obviously amazingly positive. But I think what's even more exciting is another year of watching Sandy Alcantara, Sixto Sanchez, Pablo Lopez, and Jordan Yamamoto be 4 out of your 5 guys in your rotation. They also have Eliezer Hernandez. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. All those guys are all under 25, and that is the best young rotation in baseball. Paired with an alright lineup, but some interesting young guys in that lineup too. So I think the positive is just your team's going to be super fun to watch. Last team is the Washington Nationals. I don't think it gets more positive than having a future Hall of Famer at Juan Soto. I think he's only 22. You guys also have one of the more underrated shortstops in Trey Turner, who had an insane 2020. He's not just a base stealer. Is you guys look at the three-headed monster rotation. The last guy's not really a monster, but Scherzer, Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin. This team is still pretty good. Apparently, they're in talks with JT Realmuto. This team kind of reminds me of the Raptors, as in they both won 2019 championships, and then they kind of got disrespected, and kind of no one talks about them, and no one talks about them as a contender. Now, both teams lost a Rendon and a Kawhi Leonard, so that's big. And then, but still, both of these teams, I think, are contenders, and that seems kind of weird them calling the Nationals contenders, because I'm even on that boat, as in they were one of the bottom teams in the National League East. I think they actually finished 5th in this National League East. So that's it for the teams. I'm kind of cheering for the Nationals this year, just so they can get on everyone's minds again. Howie Kendrick retired, which is actually kind of a blow for them. He was pretty good. I think it's gonna wrap up the video. If you got here, shout out to you. I think that's gonna wrap it up. One good thing about every American League team will be coming probably after Christmas. I'm gonna take a little Christmas break, and I think I'm out. Peace.